wait.
It's a commercial.
From...
What's the brand?
It's not
No, you don't want
Outback.
No. You don't want to, let's don't say it because then everybody's going to think we're endorsing that beer. We can't do that.
No. Never.
No, Australian phobia Foster's. But I am doing, I think it is, but I am doing this as a shout out to Perth. We had 4 listeners from Western Australia.
Are you kidding
They're climbing.
me?
They're climbing the ladder.
Who in the world
How about
is
that? So shout out to Perth, or hey for Perth.
Wow. I love
you Perthians.
Is that, I wish I knew, is that in Western Australia?
Yep, it is.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking that is because I just saw something and they can tell us if this is true. There is something blowing in there.
Oh, no.
I can't remember, some storm. And so the skies were red.
What?
I mean, bright red.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, dust.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but not just like orangey red. The picture I saw was bright red. So
maybe
if you're
Mars exploded and all the dust is heading west.
So if you are from Perth, could you just
wait?
Is that how you say it?
Do you say Perth?
I don't know how
like
to say
you're from the UK?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Okay,
Perth.
If you're from Australia and can confirm or deny whether the skies were red in Western Australia.
Yeah, by the way, my accent, I don't know what mine was, but okay, so jumping right in. I'm going to surprise you today. I've got a little surprise for the podcast. How you doing, babe?
Well, I'm good.
Good.
My voice, I'm sorry if my,
see, don't
already.
push it. Just relax into it. The mic's going to pick you up. Just pull it a little closer.
Okay. So I'm sorry. I don't
please
feel.
Don't whisper. If you whisper, I'll have to just mute you.
Kill me. If I don't feel bad, I just sound bad. So I'm very sorry. I'm going to let Brian carry us today.
You look, no. Oh, no. You look great, except for that little bun on top of your head.
You like my bun?
It looks like a slinky.
Hi, bun. Getting things
but
done.
It was just like the slinky when it's got one end touching the floor and then does its curve and touches the other end right before you send it down the stairs to do the walk. So you saw it on TV. It always walked so perfectly. I would always send it down, and it took one, and then it was gone. It just like tumbled down.
Yeah. Okay, so I know you said you're going to surprise me, but this makes me think about. So this last week, I had dinner with some friends, and they said, we love y'all's podcast. I think I forgot to tell you this.
You did.
They said, we love it.
I was about to discontinue it. Thank you.
They said, how do you come up with your topics? I'm like, good question. I know in our note, remember when we were in Waco for our last year for our vision retreat, and we were at Ninfa's, and I had my notes section on my phone
say
open.
Say Ninfa's like an Australian would say it.
Ninfa's.
Oh my God. Ninfa's. It's a Russian.
I don't
says
know.
Ninfa's.
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know.
Sorry.
But we were at Ninfa's, and I had my note section open, and I have about 40 ideas for podcast ideas.
goodness.
And have we looked back at that? I'm not sure. But I just told him every single week.
Lay it on me.
I will. But I said every single week, I just feel like something comes to one of us or both of us. It's something that's on our hearts or something we've heard recently, or as we're coaching people, it's kind of a topic that's come up a lot. Sometimes it's something that's happening around the world. I don't know. They just said it's always so creative. We don't know where you come up with. So anyway.
Excuse me. Well, sometimes I should edit that out. Because my voice, I got something going on too, but I think it's because I've been singing. Got me a new guitar, and I've been playing that guitar and stretching the vocals a little bit too, because I love to sing, but I don't love singing, but I love singing harmony. That's kind of been my forte because I can do harmony. I love
you singing.
But I've lost any range I once had. So, to have energy, you have to be able to sing in a little higher range. Otherwise, there's no energy. But today I was singing an old song because I got a little electric when I was in Ada, Oklahoma. A little hey hey to Dave's music in Ada, Oklahoma.
Yes.
But I did the tuning, this alternate tuning. It's E-A-B-E-B-E. So you tune your guitar like that. You put the capo on the 3rd fret, and then way up, like 9 frets away from that. So like on 12, you stack your fingers, you play 3 notes, and you play the E string, skip a note, next string, skip a note, or skip a string, next note, and they're stacked. And you play that up and down the neck for this Jars of Clay song, Love Song for a Savior. I hadn't thought about it in forever. A friend asked me about it. And man, I was just playing that. And there's a lot of falsetto. So I love the falsetto. I love singing some Elton John falsetto.
So when you're talking about guitar, you're speaking to like 2 people.
Anyway,
like any guitar gods out there that have, that are prodigies that have played their whole life.
So I'm a little hoarse too.
They might know what you're talking about.
So back to the podcast. I want to say, here's what gets me, all you listeners. So honestly, and this is no shade on any podcast, any marriage ministry, or any marriage podcast, especially. Man, I love all the work you guys are doing on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all you podcasters out there. But so many times, babe, I hear these podcasts and I see that they've blown up or that they've got, 50,000 comments and people are engaging. And I think it was just like everyone knows that. And I mean, they don't, but I just think, because we've been married 60 years and I got to remember. What?
You said we've been married 60
years.
I've
been on the planet 60 years, right? We've been married 37 years.
They're like, man, y'all look great.
37. We look great for being married 60 years. So anyway, all these people that are married now, especially newlyweds, they were not born, and I was, by the time I was 40, they're just now coming into the world, right? And so I just got to remember that some of the basics, some of the good stuff is just some of the basics.
Yeah.
And to go back and to hit some of these things that I just think everyone knows or should know, or, so it's more than just, hey, you should put your partner first, hey, you should, go on date nights, and, people talk about communication, conflict resolution. We always talk about, let's get to the root, let's get what underneath the thing. And that's a little more interesting. And I think it's just more helpful because so many people bring that baggage from their trauma, their upbringing, their family of origin, their previous relationships. But anyway, so sometimes it's not like we're digging for, complex issues. It's just sometimes you just think this has already been done so many times. That's just the way I just avoid some of those things, probably incorrectly. So we should hit some of the things because that's what people are wanting. That's what they're needing. That's the stuff they're listening to. So nothing's off limits anymore. We're just going for it.
I know. So sometimes we will kiss, keep it simple, sweetie, or some people say,
I got excited for a second. I thought we were actually going to kiss.
Sometimes we will kiss.
How long has it been?
Sweetie.
8, 9 days? Yeah, well, it's just because you've got a cold. So it's kind of cheek pecking right now.
Well, that's true.
So here's the deal. So today, I don't know what made me think of this, but I was on my walk. Many times I think about, a lot of stuff. I hear different things. And I thought about it about 3 minutes, and then I sprung it on you and said, we need to talk about the 10 commandments of marriage. And we haven't made a list. I didn't think about it again. I didn't come in here. I literally, 2 minutes before you came in the room, I pulled up the 10 commandments on my phone. This is a cool little 10 commandment poster, hanger frame, Christian motivational wooden canvas.
Wow. Okay.
But it's got them. There are Roman numerals, and it's the thou shalt. So, but that's gonna be fine.
So that's King James version then.
No, that was God to Moses, baby. He said thou shalt. So, old King James, but it'll do. So, what I wanted to do is read the first 10 commandment, and then I'm going to throw it to you, and let's. Obviously, this is talking about when it says 10 commandment number 1, thou shalt have no other gods before me. It's about God, right? He's saying, you will have no other gods before me. I'm first place, baby. I'm top on the totem pole. Why? Because he is to be worshiped. He is the highest value. He is the highest truth. So he would be the thing that we aim for above all else and worship above all else.
Amen.
But so what I would like to do is just apply it immediately to marriage. Just take the 10 commandment and let's go straight to marriage. So thou shalt have no other spouses before me. Okay, or not spouses. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. What does that make you think of in the context of marriage? So I'm going to throw it to you, and then I'll riff if I think of anything.
Okay. I think when I hear that
priorities. Oops, sorry.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry, I was about to cough.
Give me a chance. Of course, having children, they're all grown now, but one of the things that makes me think of is many times people put their kids above their spouse. And it's all about the kids.
Why do
their
they do
whole lives. Well, because kids are demanding. They need a lot. And it is, you're tired and it is extra. It's usually not your spouse saying, hey, pick me. It's the kids that are, the little birds going, we're hungry, we're thirsty, take us here, take us there. We need to, whatever age or stage they're in, they're just so needy. And
sometimes they're easy to love. Sometimes they're loving you back, and maybe a spouse doesn't feel like that. Maybe you feel like you're more in love with them than your spouse.
So that's very true. And so I think that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Don't
prioritize your kids over your marriage. That's right. You got to get the marriage in the first place.
Because
take care of the main thing.
I think it's the best thing you can do for your kids. The most loved they will feel is when they have a mom and a dad that show them what unconditional love looks like.
That's awesome. I remember in the shout out to my friend, or a hey to my friend. Are we still doing hey-hays?
We are, always and forever.
Okay. Hey to John Finch, who wrote an incredible piece of work, did a film called The Father Effect Film. Man, sorry, John, if I'm butchering this, may have written a companion book, but he did the film first. And it's his story. Amazing job he did on it. And then he captured tons of hours of interviews. I got the privilege of going to Colorado Springs and interviewing John Eldridge. Just literally, John was holding one camera, I was holding another, and Eldridge just sat down and just riffed for about an hour and a half, man. And I was like, this is gold. So there was a lot in the edited version of the film, the longer version. You can find it on YouTube. But anyway, excuse me. I remember one of the interviews, one of the guys said, the greatest gift, bless you, the greatest gift you can give and he was talking to men, he said, the greatest gift you can give to your kids is to love your wife well, love their mother well. When they see that, they feel safe, because it's their foundation. It is their foundation. They feel safe. Mom and dad aren't going anywhere. That's always stuck with me. Okay, number 2. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Okay. You know what a graven image is?
An idol.
Correct. It was something that was representing, it was an inanimate object, and it was representing something that did not have life, couldn't give life. God is God. And so there's all these other gods represented by, things that they would put on their totem poles or put on their hearth or their doorposts or their spears or whatever. People would make graven images and they would worship them. So thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
So that's a good one. When you say that, the thing I immediately think of is the trap that we can fall into when we're on social media or TV or movies all the time, and we have this image of what a relationship should look like, or love, or marriage, or what our husband should look like. And it's not true. What love should look like, what sex should look like, what, we just have this idea from things that are false. It's not the truth, but we see it. And so we think, oh, my husband never does that. Or I wish my husband would be more like that. Or it's just, you're not looking at a true image. And so you can immediately become resentful and against your husband and not grateful for who he is and what he does bring to the marriage, because you're comparing him to a false God.
Something that's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many times they depict so many things. Sex is the first thing that comes to mind, how they depict that in movies. And it's just it's just not real at all. So many times. And, so then, you may compare you think the grass is greener or want the fantasy that's just not even true. Plants a lot of false seeds in your head. The thing I was thinking of is just things that, again, will get, if God wants to be, have no other gods before me, and you make unto yourself a graven image, sometimes you could prioritize that image and what it represents and what it symbolizes in your life over him. Like maybe it's a hobby. Maybe it's a game. Maybe it's, video games. Maybe it's something, again, you love to do: golf, fishing, hunting, poker, playing the guitar, playing the piano for me. And, people don't sometimes think about those things, that they're worshiping those things, but where are you spending your time? What would you give your life for? What do you value highly? And sometimes those things in your life, they show up if you just check your, are you scrolling for 9 hours on your phone? Are you spending 9 hours talking to your spouse? And so sometimes those graven images will literally suck the life out of you, because if they're an image of something that's not real and something that's not alive and that's not life-giving, it will take your life from you. So if you give your life to something that will not give you life, by definition, it will take your life from you. So
good one. That's good.
So yeah. Okay, moving right along. Commandment number 3. By the way, wasn't that cool when Charlton Heston comes down off that mountain?
Oh, yeah.
His face glowing.
That
I love
voice.
the hair. I was kind of growing my hair out for a while. I wanted it to be kind of like Charlton Heston, that gray, that salt and pepper.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I wasn't rocking the robe and the staff and
You
the
could
beard.
be.
I was rocking the beard, but it just I never could grow it out like Charlton.
You've got a good beard, by the way.
Thank you. That's what's his face said.
His name is...
Moving right along.
Okay.
Number 3, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord. Sorry. Oh, man.
Kurt Thompson.
That's him. He loved my beard. By the way, The Soul of Shame. The Soul of Shame. If you haven't read Kurt Thompson's, C-U-R-T, Kurt Thompson, The Soul of Shame.
So let's do hey to Kurt Thompson.
Kurt, yeah.
And Kurt, if you're listening to this, because I'm going to send it to him. Do you remember meeting this guy at the AACC?
Oh, he's going to remember.
His beard.
It was an instant bromance. He was trying to focus on what I was saying, but he couldn't. He was staring me in the eyes, and he was just looking at my face, and I was going, "What are you looking at, dude?" And all of a sudden, he just said, "Can I stop you right there?" I was literally telling the guy he changed my life. Because I was with him for a class, a very small, intimate class for a week.
You were
and the guy's a
fanboying.
brilliant, not just an author, but just a teacher, a pastor. He's just so cool. Kind of looks like, is it Mr. Bean? That actor, he
Maybe.
reminds me of him. Anyway, but he said, "Can I just tell you, dude, killer beard."
And you
wow.
could have died right
Thank
there
you.
and just been happy as could be.
Yeah.
Okay, so hey to Kurt Thompson.
And I get it, man.
number
I
3.
felt for him because his was a little raggedy. So, Kurt, I hope you're filling in the beard.
Well, maybe I'm not
With
going to
a little-
send him this anymore.
Little Rogaine. Okay. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. So many people think that means cussing.
You would break that one a lot.
So I've broken that commandment several times, but it doesn't mean cussing. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. So, what do you think that means? Just make it about marriage.
Okay, first thing on my mind when I hear that is how you speak about your spouse in front of other people.
Whew.
And so whenever I'm having dinner with my girlfriends, how do I talk about you? When I'm talking to the kids.
Will you answer that? How do you talk about me when you have a dinner with your girlfriend?
You want to call them up and ask them?
No, I know.
I talk very,
I know.
very highly and sweetly of you.
I do.
I've
been told that. You tell me that, but also I've been told that by some of your friends, and also you've done it in front of me.
Yes.
Nothing makes me feel more proud and more respected than you bragging on me in front of my friends. I got to say, write that one down, ladies. Woo.
So that's the first thing.
And you know what? There's such a temptation sometimes to tear your spouse down in front of your friends or their friends, especially like if they're embarrassing you, if your spouse is embarrassing you, you think, well, that's embarrassing me, so I've got to say something about it. Like, oh, will you quit? That's so stupid. Nobody wants to hear that. And many times it's not the truth. It's just you're projecting, anyway. So, sorry.
So I think that's what that says to me is in front of your friends, how do you speak about your husband? In front of anyone, in front of your children, how do you speak about their dad, your husband?
That's good.
So, yeah, that's
Good.
what I think about that one. Anything to add?
I just started thinking about like taking it in vain.
I know, in vain.
I think, what I first thought of was just many times when I think something, like I've made up a story in my mind and I say something like under my breath, like, dadgummit, Jamie. And like, it's totally wrong. Like I think you have forgotten something or you didn't do something or here was your motivation. And literally it was totally in vain because it wasn't true. And it was meaningless. It meant nothing. So
okay, I have something else to add to this.
The name in vain.
A little extra. I think before I've told you this or I've posted this before, probably on our anniversary, but it is the truth. One of the greatest titles that I have, wife, mom, sister, friend, pastor, whatever, coach. I think the greatest,
babe,
that too, next to daughter of God, child of God, I would say my greatest title next to that would be Mrs. Hackney. So, so thinking about the name that you carry and knowing that means something, and like I want to carry it in such a way where people can know my last name is Hackney and meet you and go, wow, like that's, you come from good stock, or, they just hear that name and they think good thoughts, positive thoughts. Wow. And so anyway, I just think that's one of the greatest titles I have.
It's like not soiling the name
Mrs.
of the
Hackney.
couple, the marriage, like Brian and Jamie. Like when you look at being one, our name. So I want Brian and Jamie to mean something. They know I'm not feeling like I'm carrying around dead weight and, ball and chain and all that junk. Okay, cool. All right. Roman numeral 4. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. I got a good one on that one.
You do? Okay,
yeah.
you want to take it?
No.
You take it, because we're probably tracking.
Okay. You have to build in a Sabbath and the principle of Sabbath rest in your life and in your marriage. So, when you're lifting weights, if you keep lifting, something happens where that muscle just keeps building, called hypertrophy. But then it will finally give out if you don't rest. So when you're tearing that muscle, you let it rest and then it recovers. And during that recovery period, it builds and it gets stronger. And so, but many times we just think we got to build, go.
Yeah.
We don't trust that if if I don't take off, if I don't just keep busting it, then somehow I'm going to lose. I'm going to get behind. And so the principle of trusting God when you're not storing away in barns, as the scripture says, when you can just trust that manna, He's going to give you enough for today. And so taking that time to rest and recover, and all the rewords, rejuvenate, recreate, recreation, renew. Did I say rejuvenate, refresh? Yeah, all those things. And so there's a time when, kind of too much of a good thing. Sometimes you need a break, I think, in your marriage from your spouse. You just need to take a break to be alone, to do some soul care, to do some recovery, go do your thing. And then when you come back, you're more fulfilled and you bring a better person to the spouse, to the marriage.
That's great.
Yeah.
Where I thought you were going with that is to take time away with your spouse, which
good.
I think is really important too. But I love where you went with that. I think that's great.
Yeah, well, thank you. But I think taking a break, taking a time away with your spouse is great too. I just think in our culture, if you're not careful, you'll just, obviously people can become a workaholic and you're just giving all your first fruits to work. Got to take some time off. And you gotta rest and gotta rebuild. But that means you're trusting. Anytime you're taking off from whatever the thing is, you're keeping it holy. And of course the Sabbath. Okay, why are we keeping that day holy? Because it was consecrated. It was set apart. It was something that was meant for God, right? And so you're dedicating that time to God. And many times it's like, do I have time? And you. So there are things that you should keep holy only for your marriage and keep sacred within the marriage, right? Okay.
All right.
I know you shaking your head like, let's move on. All right. Number 5, honor thy father and thy mother. Okay. This is good.
Literally, neither one of us thought of this ahead of time. So it is on the fly that we're thinking of this. But honor thy father and mother.
So I think about you and me honoring your father and your mother, how we've honored my father and mother in, in the things we want to emulate, the things and even things that maybe we didn't want to take from them, but that we respected and included the things that we did get from them. I matter of fact, last week I was telling something that I got from my father that I really, really respected. And, I remember the day that I called your father and said, man, I need help in the first year of our marriage, where I was literally emotionally abusing you and verbally abusing you. And I called Don because of my high level of respect for him and how he should have wanted to kill me. And he loved me. He saw my potential and he helped me get in touch with someone who helped us tremendously and saved our marriage and probably saved my life with his grace. So honoring them. And then I think about our kids honoring us. And obviously the stuff that we talk about a lot with our legacy. What are some things that come to your mind on honoring your father and mother?
I think when we coach couples and individuals, many times what comes up is family of origin, and everybody has a little something from their past that's tough. Even if you had really incredible mom and dad, there's just still some stuff that you're going to outgrow, and you should, and kind of make things your own, new traditions, like you mentioned. But many times people have some really hard stuff that they need to work through, some wounds from their past. And so I think one of the greatest ways that you can forgive your parents and move on so it doesn't keep such a strong hold on you going into your future so that you can heal from it is to really be able to release them, like be able to honor them and go, man, you know what, whatever they said or did or to hurt you, to maybe even try to find a way to go, wow, where did that come from? Where did that roll downhill from their parents or their parents? And be able to kind of release that and honor them and go, you did, I guess, the best you could with what you had at the time, and I'm releasing you from this and taking the rest of your life to move forward in the way that the things that you want to be different. And so I know that's kind of a hard concept for people who are like, whoa, cut that one out because I am not honoring.
Right. How do you honor someone who wasn't there or who abused me, who hurt me? Yeah. It's interesting because one of my childhood wounds, or let's say one of the messages that I got that wasn't helpful, that drove me to being a perfectionist, it was illuminated during a prayer time when I asked God, do I believe lies about myself? And it was, you think you have to perform for love. It wasn't unconditional love. It felt like conditional love. And even if it wasn't spoken, that's just kind of something I picked up. Well, then that drives you to perfectionism. And so when did I start believing that lie? And it went back to something that happened in third grade. And I tell that story, but now what's interesting is when you look back and you see that my dad was projecting just some of the stuff that he had never healed from that was given to him by his parents and projecting that onto me, right? And once you can see that and give them grace, almost have compassion for the little boy, the unhealed little boy in your dad, it's a way different perspective, and it's a way you can release and forgive. And again, another hey to John Finch, it's all about forgiving your father and forgiving those people who've hurt you, so that they don't, you don't carry that bitterness, that resentment, and you can move forward in love and grace and forgiveness.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. All right.
I was going to say something else about that. What was it? Father and mother. Paul, later on in the New Testament, Ephesians 6:1, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother. He requotes that from the Ten Commandments. He said, this is the first commandment with a promise. And it says something to the effect of that it will go well with you and your days will be long on the earth. And if you think about that, you would think, I honored my father and mother, or this person did, but what happened to them? They died young, you know. But if you look at principles like Proverbs, things that are true, generally true, think about if you honor your father and mother and they're telling you, don't go jump off the cliff. Well, everybody else is doing it. Well, I'm telling you, don't do it. You're probably going to live longer than the ones who are saying, the old man doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah. So there's that. Okay. Roman numeral number 6, thou shalt not kill. Okay. So you have not killed me yet. Thank you, Lord.
Almost a few times.
All these date lines that I see, man, it's I guess tempting to poison your spouse or to push them off a trail when you're hiking. And anyway, so thou shalt not kill. I think about something I literally just read. I was reading over some notes from a couple we talked to, and it's John Gottman talks about. Excuse me, man, I got a cough. Excuse me. The one of the 4 horses of the apocalypse that will kill a marriage is contempt. And so sometimes you may not have that's what Jesus was talking about. I said, well, don't commit adultery, but it's like, but you lust. So there's this lust in your heart. Okay, well, you didn't kill, but are you angry with your brother? Do you want to kill him? Kind of thing. And so it's checking your spirit. When you hold someone in contempt, it's like, man, and you could be killing them. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts, just with one disdainful look, one contemptuous look at a time, one disrespectful comment at a time, one rejection at a time. And so you can be slowly killing that spouse. I remember using that term like I had crushed your spirit. I had committed murder on your spirit with the way I talked to you, with the way I spoke to you, with the way I treated you because of my unhealed wounds. And so thou shalt not kill, pretty straightforward, but I think we need to kind of look at what we're doing. Is it killing someone's spirit? Are you killing them emotionally, physically, spiritually? There's so many different ways that can be.
And if a man's number one need, and it is, a man's number one need is respect.
Super need.
And if I, let's just say you and I, if I continually knock you down or undercut you or just say things that are dishonoring and disrespectful, you could say that is, in essence, killing you.
You're killing me,
Smalls.
Wow. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
You owe me a Starbucks.
Okay. All right. This one, number 7, this one is easy because it pertains to marriage. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Duh.
Okay. So be faithful in your marriage. And I think, wow, welcome, Mila. I think a lot that we could do a whole thing on adultery, like what constitutes adultery. Many people are wondering in today's, we talk to couples all the time. It's like, is this inappropriate? Because they were just texting and obviously sexting is a thing, and sending pics, and you're talking to somebody and you're sharing all your emotional stuff about your personal life with this person, and they're maybe becoming emotional support for you and meeting your emotional needs. There's a lot of ways to commit adultery and to be unfaithful to your spouse, and things that are being robbed. Someone asked me the other day about pornography, and so you're robbing from your spouse in that way. So
it's good.
Okay. Number 8, thou shalt not steal. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Thou shalt not steal. What do you...
You steal gum out of my purse.
You give it to me,
Sometimes
babe.
money.
Oh, come on.
No, you don't really.
But so in what ways do we not want to steal stolen moments?
Okay.
When people, I'm just going to keep it PG, but when people self-pleasure, I know I'm going to get a lot of heat or flack from this, and if you want to talk about this, we can. Is that a problem? It's like, you tell me. Is it robbing from your spouse? Is it stealing from your spouse? Are you taking away an opportunity that could have been for intimacy with you too? That's just one way that you could steal from your spouse.
Maybe
not though.
Undivided attention. Our dadgum phones
stealing attention.
Steal our attention.
It is the biggest attention stealer.
Wow, I wasn't really sure where that one was going to go. The steal. I'm like, what? What can we say?
No, that's you just nailed a huge one. Our time is being stolen. And our attention is being stolen. And like you said, sometimes what we're seeing on social media, then it's stealing our imagination. When we're just watching stuff all the time, it's stealing our creativity.
Yes.
But sometimes we're stealing the joy from our spouse. I was robbing you of joy. I remember thinking that. So there's that. Okay. Moving right along.
It's good.
And I'd love to hear from y'all. Y'all comment if you have ones that we're not thinking of, or you think everyone in the community could benefit from. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Okay, I was always taught that, don't lie. Don't lie about someone. Don't lie about something. Because then if you lie, then you're going to, I'm sorry, I'm going to throw it to you.
No, you go, because I'm still a little iffy on this one.
If you lie about someone, you're hurting them. You're hurting their reputation. It could ruin their reputation. And then, if you're not telling the truth, look, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. If you're not telling the truth, and I know sometimes we don't know we're not telling the truth because maybe just we don't know we're lying. But if you know you're lying intentionally, then you've got to lie more to cover that up. And let me just tell you, that is the hallmark of integrity. If you're lying to yourself, if you're lying to others, your life will fall apart. You are literally disintegrating your heart, your integrity, your character, and your life will not hold up. That's the thing. The truth will always come out. And so if you think you're lying to someone or you're lying about someone, guess what? The truth's going to come out. So you have to tell the truth.
Yeah.
You have to tell the truth. Do not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And then anything on that one?
I don't think I have anything else to add on that one.
Okay. And number 10, thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not covet. And it's funny. It's so wild how all of my teaching from the church that I grew up in is coming back. They explained that covet didn't mean that you necessarily just wanted what someone else had. Like, man, dude, look at that car. I want a car like that. Maybe it's keeping up with the Joneses and, trying to, wishing your life was more like theirs, or you had something they had, but they said covet really means you don't want them to have it. Like I want that car and I don't want them to have it. Like you're green with envy. You're jealous.
Stewing about it.
Yeah. And then what would you do about that? If you covet something that they have, well, then you get your sights set on it. I know there's if you look back in the Old Testament, there's all this stuff about you don't covet your neighbor's wife, don't covet their oxen and their donkeys. You never,
Don't go there.
I won't go there. About to use another word for donkey.
I know.
So you don't want to do that. So it's basically being content with what you have and not comparing yourself and being happy for other people. What's wrong with you if you're not happy for other people and you covet what they have? Man, God's given you. Has he not prepared a table for you in the presence of your enemies and your cup runneth over? So try to look for the abundance in your life and be grateful for what you have.
Yes. And I think looking for the good in your spouse in that way. So when something really good happens to them in their work or in their health or in their, a new hobby that they've picked up, secretly you may kind of feel like, well, I wish I had passions like that, or I wish I had something like that to throw myself into, or something that I was really good at, or whatever. So it may not be that you're like green with envy, but you also may not go out of your way to go, I'm really proud of you for learning this new skill or this new thing, you got this promotion at work, or
that's so good. If you can't rejoice with your partner,
taking such great care of your health, I can really tell, or whatever, just really
being proud and being happy for them. That means you feel fulfilled. It's just showing you. And if you're feeling a little jealous and like, I don't want them to have it. And like, I want to, it's not a competition. Like you're one, be happy for that other half. Right. Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, when you can start building up your spouse, you'll see a huge difference. There will be a huge turnaround because everyone likes to have good, positive things spoken over them. They love for you to notice. And I always think, okay, well, if I don't notice, somebody else might. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, you just want to,
excuse me,
you don't want to withhold that kind of stuff from your spouse. You want to be able to share that so that they
share it freely. Yeah, go practice it if you're kind of choking on it, because
speaking of choking.
I know. I'm gonna have to get it. What you see it coming?
Yeah, I see it coming. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna have to. No, I'll go back, because the 10 Commandments. So 10 Commandments of marriage. This was good. Thank you, God. Thank you, Moses.
Thank you, Moses.
Yeah, come on.
This was a great idea.
Heck yeah.
I mean, it was at first when you said it, I was like, where is that going to go? I think
it's good stuff.
Yeah,
come on.
Way to go,
Brian. And people
Hackney.
talk about, karma, and it's like, man, it's not karma. It's like, it's blessings. And when you can give the blessings of these 10 Commandments to your spouse, then it'll come back in spades to you later.